Hi, I'm Margaret and welcome to Garden School. Well, I've got a question for you. Are two heads better than one? Well, when it comes to cabbage, I'm going to say no. I'm going to show you something here in my pea patch. So I've got some red acre cabbage plants here, and it's early September. I started these from seed, I think at about the right time, months ago. And you can see here's one tiny little head, another tiny little head, and there's another tiny little head. And I'm going to look down here, I'll show you. There are actually two stems. It's not two seedlings growing close together, it's two stems. And notice how long these stems are before we get to the fruiting part. I've taken off the leaves that got damaged by slugs and stuff like that. But the question is, what is going on here? This tiny little head, this is not going to produce anything. This one, no. I think that's just soft leaves. This little one over here, it's tiny, but it's kind of hard, and that's going to be good. I might hold on to that one. Over here, I've got another one where there's two heads. It's this one, about the size of an apple, small apple. Feels hard, that might produce. This one, very soft, loose leaves shaped around something really, maybe a golf ball in there. But this one, now I'll show you down here. This one looks like it's also not two seedlings, but one seedling that is branched off. Well, let's talk about what might happen and what might cause this. What I discovered is that if there's damage to that growth tip of a seedling called the apical meristem, this is what can happen. So once that primary growing area is damaged, it's not going to recover very well. So if I discover that that's happened next year as I'm growing cabbage seedlings, I'm not going to pursue planting those particular seedlings. I'm going to go with the ones that don't have any damage to that growth tip. So I decided to cut off these parts of the cabbage plants that were not going to produce anything worthy of coleslaw. So the energy from these plants can now go into the part that's remaining where there was a little bit of hope. Yeah, that's just, if this was June, maybe we'd get something. But you know what? It's September and we won't. So that's what I decided to do. And I learned something about what to look for when I'm doing my seedlings next year. Well, I did manage to harvest a very nice red cabbage, so cleaned up and stuff. I'm going to enjoy that. And I have another one too, about the same size, but I'll let that continue to grow for a bit. So I learned something about seedlings, cabbage seedlings, and if something is damaged there on that very tip, and maybe I shouldn't bother with that and go for the ones that there's no damage to that growth area, the apical meristem. Well, there's always more to learn in the garden. Bye-bye.